Hello, I am Bhavin from ICD and like to discuss how do we add new control at runtime. So to add new control at runtime, form class as well as panel, they both contains almost all the controls which act as a container, right? They contains a method named add which allow us to add new control at runtime. So I'll open the application to add new at runtime. So runtime control. Let's say we have button. I have a button which on click we would like to add one more control. So to add new control at runtime. Okay. So to add new button, I'll declare a button variable at the class level, the cmd as new button. So basically button is a class. I won't say new right now, but button is a class, right? So to create an object of button, cmd equals to new button, then we'll set few characteristics, either properties of button class. So cmd dot top equal to 0, cmd dot left equal to 0, cmd dot text equal to, we'll say, runtime button, and cmd dot width equal to, say, 150, cmd dot height equal to 120, I'll say 50. So this is only we configure the property of the button, but to add within the form, me stands for object of current form, contains controls collection, and it contains an add method. Add method contains an argument of control object. Control is a base class for all the objects, so we may say is either button or text box or label. They are the specialized class, but the button is in base class, so I'll pass cmd as an argument and run the application. So unclick, I'll get a button. That's what the runtime button, right? So I'll increase its weight to 180, and clicking on button will cause a new button will be rendered on a form. The next objective, how do I get an event, or how do we set a event of a button which is added at runtime? So to configure the events which are button added at the runtime, right, we have to create a subroutine, private sub my button click, as each button contains two arguments. First argument is sender as object. The term sender stands for object which raises the current event, and E stands for event specific information, as each button contains event args. So event args, this is what every button contains two arguments. Clicking on button, so the same argument I'll configure. So we'll create a subroutine which composed of two arguments, one of the argument with the name sender, another argument with the name system.event_args. Okay, and we'll set up a message box, and write runtime button clicked, right? Okay, when it's only one button, that's okay only. And title SRA. So, and add handler, we have a statement with the name add handler which allows to map a specific event with the subroutine. So we have cmd is an object, it contains click event, So to set the delegates, click event of an command object. First is the name of event, second is the name of subroutine. So there I have to pass address of my button click. So that's how we can provide the mapping. When user click on our button, click event will be mapped to the my button click. So on click, this particular subroutine will be executed. So we'll click on a button, this raised a new button on a form, and on click we have message box. So that's how we can get an event of button which is added at runtime. Right. So that's how we can add new object at the runtime as well as provides an event of an object which added at runtime. So this is an first part of to add new control at runtime from ICD. Right. So thanks and try this.